Greetings, good people, and welcome to Black Comic Characters. I am your host, Donald E. Jones II, also known as Solly Two Kings. We will continue our time-traveling journey of Black comic history into the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age runs roughly from 1971 to 1985. This is a time period when Black people are finally getting a chance to move ahead as far as jobs, social mobility, and security. But not all was still right in Black cities. In the 1980s, we saw a massive influx of drugs, namely crack, cocaine, and heroin, hit Black neighborhoods and decimate thousands of lives because of it. But we also saw Black excellence in new ways. We saw a resurgence of Black doctors. The newest genre of music was created, hip-hop, and once again, Black people were beginning to hold more public offices. The road was still rocky, but because of the sacrifices made by those who came before us, life was a little less harsh. In comics, during the Bronze Age, we see a great influx of Black characters in the comic realm. We also see more Black artists and writers who are now being recognized for their skills and talents, like William Graham, Wayne Howard, Keith Pollard, and Christopher Priest. The Bronze Age definitely has more meaning to it than probably originally intended. In the year 1971, DC introduced their first Black superheroes. Vykin the Black made his first appearance in The Forever People #1 in March, and the Black Racer made his debut in The New Gods #3 in July, both created by the iconic comic artist Jack King Kirby. In December, DC introduced probably their most popular Black character at the time, John Stewart, who would become the Green Lantern in Green Lantern #87. John Stewart introduced a Black perspective in the Green Lantern series. Unbeknownst to most, in August 1971, Skywald Publications quietly introduced us to the first Black female superhero in their issue of Hellrider #1. Her name was the Butterfly, and she had a segment in the last half of the Hellrider issues. Now, many sources cite a famous Black female character on the X-Men team as the first Black female superhero, but she would not appear until 4 years later. In 1972, all I can say is Sweet Christmas. Luke Cage made his first appearance under Marvel's Luke Cage Hero for Hire #1. This is known to be the first comic to headline a Black male superhero in mainstream comics. In October 1972, Dell Comics, who published the original Black Western Lobo during the Silver Age, silently made another Black first mention. They released Friday Foster #1, based on a popular comic strip. This is the first known comic to headline a Black woman. In 1973, DC would create their first Black female superhero, Nubia. She would appear in Wonder Woman #204. Also, that same year, Marvel would introduce the first known Black female villain. Her name is Black Mariah, and she would be a fearsome foe to face Luke Cage. Blade, the now famous vampire hunter, first appeared in Marvel's Tomb of Dracula #10 in 1973. Also, during that same year, Marvel would create the deadly nemesis to the Black Panther, Eric Killmonger, and they would create Dr. Voodoo, a powerful magician who would later have tie-ins to Marvel's Doctor Strange. In 1974, Deathlok, the cybernetically enhanced character, first appeared in Marvel's Astonishing Tales #25. The following year, in March 1975, another cybernetically enhanced character would make her first appearance. Misty Knight was introduced in Marvel Premiere #21. In May of 1975, Giant Size X-Men #1 burst onto the scene with a new and diverse X-Men team. Included on the team was the first Black female superhero in mainstream comics, Storm, Goddess of Thunder. As I stated before, The Butterfly from Dell Comics was technically the first female superhero, but with the Hellrider comic only lasting 2 issues, she did not have a strong impact. Storm, however, was widely popular when she was introduced and remains popular to this day. DC came out with the black female character Bumblebee in 1977, and later on that year, they released their first title featuring a black man. Black Lightning was introduced in Black Lightning #1 in April of 1977. In 1978, DC Comics placed 2 powerhouses in the ring for the fight of the century. Superman vs. Muhammad Ali was created as a large 72-page oversized comic that delighted comic book readers. In 1979, Bruce Wayne's head of Wayne Enterprises, Lucius Fox, first appeared in Batman #307. That same month, in January, James Rhodes first appeared in Iron Man #118. We would know James Rhodes a little better as his alter ego, War Machine, a few years in the future. In 1980, DC introduced their famous cybernetically enhanced hero, Cyborg, in DC Comics Presents #26. Towards the end of the Bronze Age in 1982, Marvel introduced 2 popular black characters. Cloak, the infamous anti-hero of Spider-Man, and half of the duo, Cloak and Dagger, first appeared in the Spectacular Spider-Man #64. Later on that year, Monica Rambeau would be the second person to take on the famous mantle of Captain Marvel, before Carol Danvers took up the title. This wraps up black comic history during the Bronze Age. We are seeing great achievements among black people worldwide, and this is reflected in the comic book medium. I want to thank you so much for watching and listening to this content. I'd like to invite you to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you again for your attention. Until the next time, peace.